When you get a new drone, you dream about making footage looking like this. But often it will end up looking like this. I will tell you the secret setting nobody is talking about that will make your Mavic Air footage look cinematic. This tip not only applies for Mavic Air, but to all other DJI drones operated with a remote. So keep watching after the intro. Do you want to improve your drone footage, refine your video skills, learn about e-wheels, the future of commuting? Consider subscribing to my weekly tips, tests and tutorials. The standard parameters makes it pretty responsive to the stick commands. It will react instantly to even the slightest movement. You will clearly appreciate that learning to know your new toy, so it actually does what you tell it to do. The sensitive sticks are at the same time your worst enemy when you're trying to record smooth and cinematic footage. Every rapid movement will show up in the final footage and make it look like it has been recorded with a cheap toy drone. Well, why don't I just use quick shots then? Yes, that's an option to do in many cases where you just want something quick and dirty. But learning how to do certain shots manually is a really good skill to have and will help you capture better footage. The standard settings are way too fast for this, but luckily there's a setting that will allow you to slow down the sensitivity of the sticks. This setting is called EXP or Expo. It will take your linear stick response, make it unlinear and make the control more or less sensitive around the center position. And yes, this is what we want to make the sticks less sensitive around the center position. Let me show you where you can find these settings in the advanced menu point under the 3 dots in the upper right corner. Here you have 3 charts. Throttle up down, rudder left right, also known as yaw, where the drone turns around its own axis. Pitch forward backward and left right. They are also known as pitch and roll. The standard values are 0.4 and to soften the motion you need to get the values below that. If we set it all down to 0.1, you will see the shape of the curve change so it's horizontally flat around the center. When you move the sticks, the response is limited around the center and amplified towards the ends. This is brilliant as we will not lose control of the drone. You do not actually need to type in the values. You can just touch the screen and slide it to the value that you want. I did not find that very precise and reverted back to typing it in. Note that the setting changes back when you switch the aircraft into sport mode. This is kind of handy as you don't want to have these less sensitive settings when you fly in sport mode. From experience, reducing the yaw motion is the most important. But it does not hurt to bring down the pitch and roll speed to match the yaw, because that will make everything so much easier. But what if this is not enough for the yaw motion and you need to limit it even more? You can do this from the sensitivity menu, and you find this menu by stepping 1 level back. Here you have the following options. Attitude, how fast the drone will react to the stick inputs. Brake, how hard the drone will stop when you let go of the sticks. Yaw endpoint, that limits the endpoints of the left-right rotation, meaning shortening the curve from the Expo menu. I will recommend a setting around 50 to avoid the amplified response at the end of the S-curve. With these settings reduced, you'll be able to pull off shots like these without relying on quick shots. If you want to go the whole way down to 0.1 on the settings, is up to your preference. I can't give you the exact settings, but I encourage you to go out and play around with this and share your findings in the comments below. All the settings that is shown in this video will apply to the Mavic Pro and to the Mavic Pro Platinum as well. Do you know that I've created a Facebook community group called Drone Wheeler to support the channel? If you're not a member already, then head over there and apply. And feel free to share any experience, footage, gear, whatever that you come up with in this group, so we all can learn from each other. It's a really cool way for us to connect across the platform instead of just having comments tied to a single video. Thank you, and see you on the next one.